If you collect action figures and are a Marvel fan, one of the must-haves, especially in an X-Men collection, is Wolverine. I've been a collector for over 5 years, and Marvel is the most prominent figure collection in my display. I love Marvel, from the comics to the movies, the animations, and more. I consume everything Marvel, especially Spider-Man and the greatest superhero team of all time, of course, the X-Men. And yes, Wolverine is and always has been my favorite mutant of all. His origin story and adventures in the comics have always captivated me and made me love the character. In the movies, I always liked his version, which starred the actor Hugh Jackman. And as crazy as it may seem, I've never had the opportunity to own a Wolverine figure worthy of representing my collection. Despite there being many figures of the character produced by different brands out there, such as Bootleg, Mafex, Hasbro, and many others, one of the main reasons is the simple fact that in the country where I live, the action figure culture isn't as widespread as in other countries. Since I don't have the best financial standard, a line I consume a lot and that has figures with a broader range and even decent quality for the price is Marvel Legends. Since I realize I don't have the budget for a Mafex, for example, I've always wondered what it would be like to own a Marvel Legends Wolverine from X-Men 97 or the Secret Wars line. It's always been a dream to have one of these figures in my hands. As incredible as it may seem, the dream came true in a way that perhaps was unexpected, but better than I expected. Why do I say this? Because a figure that many collectors love and dream of having in their collection is the number 138 Mafex Wolverine comic brown version. Damn, what a huge name. From the Mafex line, produced by Medicom Toy, and one of the largest and most powerful companies in the action figures market today. Unfortunately, for many, this piece was released almost 8 years ago, and many newer collectors haven't had the chance to purchase the figure, and it's currently difficult to find one on the market. Few lucky individuals have a copy of this rarity. Even if they do manage to find one, its price is even more exorbitant due to its high value and preciousness. But fortunately, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. In 2023, CD Toys was founded, a company whose main focus is making bootlegs of existing figures, with almost the same quality, but where the real difference is in the price. It's almost as if they were what people demand. Their first releases were Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy from Bandai Spider-Verse collection. As the first two releases, they hadn't yet achieved the quality that current releases achieve. After all, we can't blame them. They were still in their infancy. And just as there were releases like Mafex Spider-Man, Bandai Spider-Man, Revoltech Spider-Man, and others, it wouldn't be long before they released Mafex Wolverine. Then, in October 2024, they finally decided to listen to the public and finally released Wolverine. Later that same year, they also released the Tiger Stripe version. That's not relevant to the video because the figure I'll be reviewing is the brown suit version. Then, sadly, I didn't really got the actual version of the CD Toys, as you read on the title of this video. The actual version that I got was the bootleg of the bootleg. I don't know what we can call it. I think bootleg of the bootleg is a good name. Maybe. For those who might be wondering, yes, there is a CD Toys bootleg. I don't know what we can call it. I don't know. So, enough talk. Let's get to what really matters. The review of the figure. Okay, starting off with the box. As it's no surprise, this box is identical to the original Mafex box. And personally, if not the prettiest, it's probably one of the prettiest in my collection. Some differences between this box and the original are that this one is narrower, And of course, it doesn't have Marvel or Mafex logos written on it, or printed on it. On the front, we see a small image of Wolverine from the comics in the upper left corner, as if it were meant to represent a comic book panel. The name Wolverine, alongside with the photo of the figure, is also represented on the front of the box, which makes the whole thing very nice overall. The back has some images of the figure in various poses, along with some accessories that accompany it. It's quite clear that this box design, in general, is very reminiscent of a kind of comic book. And it's very pretty, in my opinion. If I saw this figure in a store, this box would really catch my attention. Upon opening the blister, we can see the figure and everything it comes with. It also comes with a transparent articulated base, which is also included in the CD toys and Mafex versions. And I'm not gonna get into a lot of details about it because everyone is familiar with this base, so let's move on to the accessories. Moving on to the accessories, the figure comes with a few, but just what you need for a Wolverine figure. It comes with 3 pairs of hands and 3 heads with different expressions, which makes a total of 10 accessories, counting with the hood to use with the unmasked head. The hands include a pair of half-opened or relaxed hands, a pair of closed fists for poses with a bit more action, and finally, a pair of closed fists with the claws out and curved, which I personally prefer for the character's look. They surprise me greatly with their quality, as they're made of very hard plastic with a metallic finish, which provides a nice contrast alongside with the matte finish of the hands. And while I like the handset and even pleasantly surprised me, the heads left a lot to be desired. And this is both criticism to Mafex and criticism to this bootleg. I say this because I think Mafex's choices of expressions was worse than the one on the tiger striped version. That version features a calm masked head, a screaming masked head, and a calm unmasked head. Here in this version, the calm masked head remains, but the screaming masked head is now replaced by a more smiley expression, which I won't lie, I really like. And to be honest, from the 3 head sculpts is the one I like the most, but I still prefer the screaming. I wish the screaming version had come instead of the smiley one. And if I said I wanted a screaming version, the unmasked head does that job. And I won't lie, the sculpt of this head actually looks more or less like the original, although for some reason, I can't fit it onto the neck bag. The paint job leaves a lot to be desired because the hair is very well painted. With black and some blue shading details. The eyes and eyebrows have no flaws and are perfectly painted. But for some reason, the mouth paint job is horribly flawed. The white teeth were painted on the lips, and the red tongue was crooked. I don't know what happened, but if you're someone who likes customizations in paintings, I actually recommend this figure, because the sculpt is there. The only thing missing is some careful painting, but for a €20 figure, you can ask for too much. I almost forgot to mention that the figure also comes with this hood accessory to go with the unmasked head, and for some reason, like the head, it doesn't fit well. You know, it fits, you put it there, but doesn't fit as well as I expected. Now, about the figure. In terms of sculpting and paint details, it's well crafted and very close to the original Mafex figure. Except for the issues I mentioned earlier with the head sculpt, and a few more that I'll point out. But now with the body, these aren't huge details or errors. I'll or errors, but they're errors and details that could have been avoided. And if they're here, they have to be addressed. Color-wise, the figure is quite beautiful, with a dark, slightly reddish brown and dark black and some details, without any flaws, and the red of the belt, which, in person, it could be a bit more reddish, and I don't know why, but the large X on the belt isn't centered in the middle. For some reason, the belt was misplaced slightly to the left, and it can't be changed, because it's glued to the figure's underwear. The yellow, in my opinion, could be more vibrant, a bit more orange, because I found it too light. But it's still beautiful. You might not notice it in the image, but it has a little shading, especially on the thighs, something the original figure already had. I'd also like to highlight the fantastic paint job on the figure arms, which is perfect in my opinion. You can see the detail of the ears one by one, which was something that really impressed me for a figure of this price. Two other painting mistakes I wanted to point out are when we bent the tip of the foot, we concealed yellow, which I believe is the original color of the foot. Sorry, but it's not a very visible detail, so I'll just let it pass. I just point it out because it's there, and I had to talk about it. Now, a very visible error is a very large and obvious flaw in the butterfly joint, which for some reason comes with a large yellow dot, which makes the figure look less attractive, and it's a lot distractive because you can clearly see it there. You have the figure in hand and you just see it, you can't unsee it. It's a big dot. It's large in my opinion, and I don't know why it's there, but it's sculpting errors. About articulation. I also encountered some issues along the way with the joints because I had a lot of problems. None of them came loose or anything like that. Quite the opposite. Everything arrived very stiff. For a moment, I thought I bought a Marvel Legends, to be honest. What happened was that the arms of the figure arrived with cracking joints, both in the shoulders and in the biceps. The figure was very stiff in that area, so I used WD-40 to loosen joints. So many of you may think I'm joking, but using WD-40 to loosen the joints works. Just apply a little bit to the peg, socket, and the peg itself, and then move the figure until you feel the joint loosen. Just don't use too much, as the figure can become very soft. Use just a tiny bit, okay? The legs also came with a mediocre opening, so with an X-Acto knife, I had to cut a small opening in the upper thigh so they could have more opening and could spread more. But overall, I even liked the quality of most of the joints. I thought they would be much worse. So yeah, I had to fix some, but still, I liked the quality and I wasn't expecting too much. I actually was expecting for loosened joints, but it came in the opposite way. So yeah. Finally, many people care whether their figure is a close to scale representation of the character, to see if it looks good alongside other characters. I'm one of those people. In terms of scale, he's very well represented, and he's shorter than other 6-inch Marvel characters, although I think he could be a bit shorter. Here's a comparison with some other figures from Hasbro Marvel Legends line, such as Superior Spider-Man, Venom, and Retro Wave Spider-Man. Also shown here is the Hulk from the Marvel Legends 20th anniversary celebration, and the Spider-Man final swimsuit. We can also see a comparison with FunJoy's Iron Man Mark III, Marvel Legends Cyclops, and Marvel Legends Bucky Cap, as well as a few others such as DC McFarlane's Superman, SH Figuarts Super Saiyan Full Power Trunks, and the Goku model kit from the Figure-Eye standard line. So, as we can see, although not 100% identical to Wolverine's scale in the comics, this figure still looks great alongside other figures of the same scale. So, in scale, I don't really think you'll have problems. So, in scale, I actually think he's quite perfect. Overall, I like the figure. And while it's not perfect and it has some flaws that might bother me a bit, I still had a lot of fun posing with it and taking photos of it. The joints and paint job may have some issues, but I still liked it and don't regret buying it at all. If you're someone who's very picky and likes near-perfect figures, I might not recommend it too much due to the minor issues it presented. But if you're someone who enjoys doing customs and doesn't mind the issues I listed, then I highly recommend this figure. For those who want it, I'll leave the link to Temu, which is where I bought it, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and also leave suggestions in the comments for figures you'd like to see here on the channel, and I'll review them to see if they're worth it or not. Okay, before you leave the video, I really wanted to ask for your help with something. For those who don't know, or haven't seen previous videos here on the channel, I'm currently working on a project, a Spider-Man fan animated series. And I can't continue the animation alone. This is because I don't have anyone to help me do the character voices. I was even considering combining artificial intelligence with my voice, but I want the quality to be as good as possible, you know? I want the character's voice to look as realistic as possible. I already had a document with several names of people I knew who said they wouldn't mind helping me in voicing some characters, but apparently they all changed their minds and just decided not to do the voices for the characters anymore. I don't know why they lost interest, but, you know, maybe they have their own life and just can't help me. I have no idea why. So, since I don't have anyone, I like anyone watching this video who shares my love for this amazing character that is Spider-Man to help me out and be interested in voicing a character, like a character you want and that I think that will combine with your voice. Leave your request here in the comments, and or if you want, you can send me a DM on Instagram. If you're interested, I'm gonna leave my Instagram down here. You can go check that out and just send me a DM if you want to talk with me and if you want to really participate in this project. And you can leave in the comments too. You know, we later can discuss about it in more detail. In fact, I might make a video giving updates and talking a bit more about the animation and any progress I can show, like concept arts, posters, character designs, you know, maybe talk a little bit about the plot, but that's it. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope someone is interested in participating in this project because I really need your help, guys. I really need people help. I wanted to make this alone because I normally don't count on anyone to help me, but you know, my only way is artificial intelligence, and I don't really want to do that. Now, a last warning is, if you want to be Peter Parker, I'm sorry. That role is already occupied. I am going to be Peter Parker, and maybe I'm going to be some other characters that I might not get voices, but the video is getting a little bit big, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to participate, like I said, send me a DM on Instagram, and that's it. Goodbye.